Hey Josie, it's Nick again. Okay, so hopefully I can do this in 15 minutes. Let's make an attempt at doing this. So, all right. So I'm right at our target. What I'm trying to do is slow myself down here because I am moving right at the thing. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to leave this whole ship here, and I'm gonna use one of the little features I have in the space station to actually pull this in, and I'll show you what that is. This is something I learned on watching something online too as well. So there we go. It almost stabilized there. There we go. So now we're pretty stabilized. We're still moving towards it, but it's kind of minutely. So I'm going to change ships here. Now I have control over my space station. Okay. There's my space station. I have full control over that. And I'm going to create another ship here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here and make sure this thing is fueled. It is, but not enough. So I'm going to refuel it. I think I showed you that before. If not, I can always show you how to do that. So, on an Apple it might be different. On a Windows it's Alt and left click the tank, and then left click another tank with Alt held down. On an Apple it's a different key, probably one of the command keys, I'm not sure. And then it asks you if fuel is going in or out of one or the other. You click on one and it just starts to take fuel out of one and into the other. Okay, so that's how you refuel something, anything, it doesn't matter. And you can already see this is the fuel tank that's connected to our ship. That's how close we are. And this little vehicle up here, if you will. It's just a control module with little tanks. It's still connected to the last time I did this. So there we go. That tank is full. There's another tank on top here. Let's zoom in so I can see it. That's not full either. So again, I'm going to hold Alt. I'm going to right click one of these tanks, big tanks down here. I'm going to click in on the tank that I want to refuel. And as soon as that's done, there we go. Now it's full. Now both tanks are full. I'm going to zoom in, try to show you this as best as I can on this. It's hard because of the size of the space station, but I'm going to click right on the coupler node between this tank and that vehicle. I'm going to right click it. Right click it. There we go. And it gives you a couple options. Undock is one. So I'm going to undock. It's not going to go anywhere, but I undock that little vehicle, so now I can select it. And now I have control over this very small little vehicle. It doesn't take a lot of fuel to use. It's quick. It's really maneuverable. It's very easy to drive. And this is a better view of it. So as you can see, I just undocked from the space station. And what I'll be doing is flying to here. So I'm going to right click and set that as target. Okay. So now I activate RCS. I'm going to put on SAS for this just because of how small it is. It'll just spin out of control because it's pretty powerful. And I'm going to start to move away from the space station. Now I'm going to put the camera on chase, which will actually follow this thing in and kind of give you the correct orientation of it. So here we go. So there we go. So I'm going to turn this. And position this. Bear with me as I do this. Still not perfect at this. There we go. Now I have the right side. Position this towards the target that I'm aiming for, which is way down there. As you can see, this thing's real quick. And then I'm simply, using RCS, just going to fly out there. Now remember, it does not fly like a plane, so turning after you've throttled isn't going to do anything. It's all about vectoring. Whew, I'm going to put on sensitive control, so you're not going to see which way I'm vectoring, but it's going to slow me down. As I fly by it, there we go. Get rid of that sign there. So what I'm doing is I'm literally lining myself up in the same orientation, whoop, wrong way, as the ship. I'm kind of sliding sideways using RCS. Not holding it, just pressing it from time to time to slow myself down. And I'm aiming right at the very end of it, the very top of what that original rocket was. It's hard to do it from this angle, but changing your camera angle a little bit will help. You can start moving towards it. So you can see I need to turn a little bit. And again, I'm just using RCS. I might be vectoring towards it, away from it, or in any direction. You can look up the controls on that anywhere online in the manual. Or it's actually a good Wikipedia type site for this whole system that shows you how to use this. This takes some time, okay? But you got to be patient with it. You got to make a few attempts, constantly be making adjustments. As you can see now, I feel as though I'm in line with it. Oh, I'm actually turned a little bit this way, so I'm going to turn off that way. There we go. And I'm going to keep vectoring towards it, just really slowly. With practice, you'll get better at this. I crashed so many times, and every still once in a while, as you'll see, I may not line this up perfectly correct. Now we're moving in on it pretty quickly. Whoops. Actually, pretty close. Pretty close. Ooh, I might actually get it on the first try. Just really slowly move it. As you get close, it'll actually pull it right towards it. As long as you're on it, it's hard to tell if I'm underneath it or above it. And there we go. Now I'm docked. That's how you dock in space. Now it combines this. It's one big unit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to detach the fuel tank from the main rocket. Select my little vehicle that's attached to the fuel tank, and then do the same thing but backwards. Fly it back to the space station. And that's really all you do. Let me go up here and select this. Come on. Well, for the time being, let's pull this away. Think of it as like kind of like a tugboat, kind of, but in space. So like a space tugboat. Pulling away from my rocket. And now I'm flying back towards this. I haven't selected it as a target yet, because for some reason it won't let me. There we go. Now I'm going to want to turn this around. Still spinning, spinning, spinning. And it takes a lot of practice. What I'm going to do here is really hard because I'm not going directly at the center. And I'll show you, so I don't crash into it here. Actually moving away from this by accident. There we go. And it just takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience and a lot of time. So expect to be doing this for a while. Watch your fuel, of course, as always. How are we doing? We're still doing pretty good. And I'm just lining myself up. So now I'm in the same rough orientation. Obviously it's not perfect. And I'm just going to start vectoring. And vectoring as I'm getting closer and closer. So you can see these two that I've already done. It's not lined up right in the middle. It's on this kind of array thing. So I'm probably going to aim for right there. Okay. Now this, supposedly there's a docking mode in here. I've read a couple things about it that it's not as easy as it looks, and it may just be as easy to do this way. You're welcome to read up on it and find something out that I don't know about, but that's what I've discovered. And we're just going to keep slowly moving it over. I can start to pull up a little bit. Now I can see where I'm off. And I'm just guessing. I'm kind of eyeing it here. Not really. There's nothing specific you can be about it. Ooh, getting too low. Now, as you slide side to side, it will throw you off a little bit. It will throw kind of the angle off that you're pointing towards. But keep doing that. Keep trying, and you basically do exactly what you did with the tug. I'm probably going to run out of time here, but yeah, that's it. So keep going for it, and I'm going to do my best. I'm just going to let the time run out of this. I've got another maybe 2 minutes, and maybe I'll do it by then. Maybe I won't. This is a lot harder with this thing attached. So I got to come down a little bit. Almost. Getting close, getting close. And I will tell you, take your time with this, because trying to rush it will throw you off so far. You'll bump into something, and next thing you know, you'll be so far away you have no fuel to get to it. And if you do that, you're basically starting from launch. So you really, really don't want to do that. There we go. Now we're getting pretty close to it. Not perfect, but let's start moving towards it a little bit. We're drifting down a little bit.